Hello, parents and guardians. My name is Larissa Wechko, and I am your student's AP English language teacher. That's my email if you ever need to contact me. I respond to emails very quickly. There's a picture of me on Westcliff with my dog on a nice sunny day. So I will keep this presentation short and sweet because I know you have multiple videos to watch. And I just wanted to give you a sense for how I structure the class and some basics about expectations and content. So first thing, I use Google Slides every day. I will post a slide for each day, and it gives students an agenda, the learning goals, the basics of assignments. The idea is that if a student misses class or has internet issues or anything at all like that, they can look at the slides and get the basic info about what we did and why we did it, and then contact me for a more detailed answer. Our agenda tells students exactly what activities we'll do that day. I embed links that will be helpful. I make sure to go over learning goals every day, to talk about the larger purpose behind the activities that we do. And so if your student ever misses class or the internet goes out or any of that stuff, please encourage them to email me. Let me know that happened. I know it happens. It happens to me too. We'll work with it. But the slides are a good resource for anyone that misses class. I wanted to show you briefly the syllabus for this course, which let me make sure that my tab is going to switch recording. I think it is. Sorry, okay. I had to make sure my screencast was going to keep recording if I switch tabs. So this is the syllabus for AP Language. I did send out a Blackboard message, which means I took all the email addresses for guardians of students in my class, and I sent out an email blast with this syllabus. If you would like another copy or you never got that email, please reach out. I would be very willing to forward this on to you. So just to highlight a couple things in here that are important and maybe a little new to your student, the AP English courses at our school, so AP Lang and AP Lit, as well as English 2 honors to a certain extent, we do a weighted category system in our grade books, and every assignment is either practice or assessment. Practice is something where students are learning a new skill, they're practicing it, they're getting feedback, they're collaborating. It's like the practice before a big game. The summative assessment, this is where they demonstrate what they have, like the level of mastery over those skills that they've been practicing. This would be like the big game. So assessment, because we lead into it, because it is something that we work on for several weeks at a time, that summative assessment is worth 80% of the final grade. So that does mean that a student's final grade will be very largely composed of their assessment scores. This is more similar to college than it is to some high school classes, because AP Language at its core is supposed to be taught as an introductory level writing course. I do not give extra credit. None of our English classes at the school do. For text that we'll read this year, we are currently reading an essay from some essays from an essay collection called 50 Essays. We'll read some excerpts from The Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. We'll read Beloved by Toni Morrison. And then, time depending, we will hopefully be able to read some short stories by Jhumpa Lapire from a book called Interpreter of Maladies. And I definitely just butchered her last name. Apologies. So one other thing I really wanted to point out on the syllabus right now, for attendance, I don't require students to have their cameras on when we are whole group. I encourage them to. I definitely appreciate if they have it on. But I think there are many ways to show engagement during class. So if a student does not have a camera on, isn't responding to questions, isn't doing the check-in assignments that the class is doing, I will mark the student as absent because their name is on the computer screen, but it doesn't mean they're actually there. So just if your student is marked absent and you think that might be a mistake, feel free to touch base with me. It might be a case of the student logging in and not actually participating. So talk to me if that is a concern. Okay, let's move to our Google Classroom real quick. So every class is using Google Classroom during distance learning. I will show you the period 3 Google Classroom. All assignments are posted in here. I organize classwork by week, so you can see the assignments we've done this week. And this would include practice, this would include assessment, short things like a quick write, longer things like, none of these are super long yet, but all assignments will appear in the Google Classroom, as well as some links to things like peer tutoring or the syllabus or extra grammar practice on Khan Academy. All of those things can be found here. And then just in terms of how the class is organized, I focus our units around 3 big kinds of writing. They are also the types of writing that are assessed on the AP English Language Test. First one is rhetorical analysis, which is what we are working on right now. So with rhetorical analysis, students learn to take a piece of writing and analyze why and how the author made rhetorical choices to achieve a purpose. So this is also the kind of writing that students are asked to do on the SAT, if students are taking that. And it's also something that I firmly believe helps strengthen students' own writing abilities, looking at those choices made by a successful writer and thinking about how effective they are or aren't. So that's the first kind of writing that we focus on. Second one will be argument. So students will work on building strong lines of reasoning, avoiding logical fallacies, assessing other people's arguments. And the last type of writing that we'll do in class is called synthesis. It's argument plus more source integration, I guess would be the best way to say it. With synthesis, you are taking a variety of sources and finding a way to weave them together into a coherent and persuasive argument. So it builds on those skills that we will talk about with the argument unit, but adds in more outside research. So those are the 3 kinds of writing that we'll focus on. We'll be doing lots of practice work with each one that leads into an essay assessment. Students will also write a college personal statement kind of essay. And I'm sure that I have forgotten at least one tiny detail that I meant to. Oh yes, I have a note. The last thing I'll say, on our short Mondays, when our schedule is 40-minute classes and then asynchronous time in the afternoon, every week I hold an office hour. So that is a time when students are encouraged to drop by with any questions they have. If there's an assignment that they want individual feedback on, if they're confused about something, I would really, really encourage students to stop by. It's me sitting in a Zoom call, students dropping in, asking for whatever help they need. All right. If you have questions, there's my email address, and I am very much enjoying working with students. This is a very fun class to teach. Thank you for listening.